ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। सभी भक्तों का आज के शिवरात्रि महोत्सव में स्वागत है। आज बहुत ही विशेष दिवस है, वेरी ऑस्पिशियस डे। People in India, they know this day as the day when Lord Shiva got married with Parvati Devi, and some places it is mentioned that on this particular day Lord Shiva, he drank the halal wish which came from the churning of the ocean. Shiva means auspicious, and Lord Shiva has got several names. Not several, we should say he has got unlimited names. And some of the common names which we know are like Nilkant, because his throat is of bluish color. He is known as Chandrasekhar because he is holding moon on his head. He is known as Gangadhar because he is holding Ganges water in the locks of his hair mat. He is known as Umapati, which means the husband of Uma Devi. He is known as Girjapati, which means the husband of Girja Devi. And he is known also as a Vaishnava. Vaishnava means the devotee of Lord Vishnu. Now in the society, the people, they know several names of Lord Shiva, but very few people know that Lord Shiva's another name is Vaishnava. In Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 12th canto, 13th chapter, verse number 16, Shukdev Goswami says, Nimna Ganam Yatha Ganga, Devanam Achyuto Yatha, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, Puranam Idam Yatha. So in this verse, the topmost of four things in the material world and the spiritual world have been mentioned. First is Nimna Ganam Yatha Ganga. Ki of all the rivers which flow down, the topmost river of those rivers is Ganges. Devanam Achyuto Atha. Of all the gods, The topmost one is Achyuta. And who is Achyuta? Is Vasudev, Krishna. His name is Achyuta. Then third is Puranam Idam Yatha. Of all the scriptures, the topmost scripture is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And it says Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. That of all the devotees of Lord Vishnu, who is the topmost devotee? It is clearly said Shambhu, which means Lord Shiva. Now, how the Lord Shiva is the topmost devotee, we will talk about it in a few minutes. But before that, we will recite one verse from the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which talks about the Lord Shiva. Who is Lord Shiva and who are his or who is his consort. And this verse is given in the Canto 4, chapter 24, and the number is 18. Prabhupada has given a very beautiful purport, but it's a very long purport. So we are not going to read the entire purport. So, but we will read the first couple of paragraphs and the last couple of paragraphs. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhakti bhavati naishtiki. Atma Ramopi yastu asya lokakalpasya radhase shaktya yukto vicharati ghoraya bhagavan bhavah. Atma Ramopi yastu asya lokakalpasya radhase shaktya yukto vicharati Ghoraya Bhagavan Bhavah. Atma Ramopi yastvasya Lokakalpasya Radhase Shaktya Yukto Vicharati Ghoraya Bhagavan Bhavah. Atma Ramaha, self-satisfied, api, although he is, yah, one who is, tu, but, asya, this, loka, material world, kalpasya, when manifested, radhase, for the matter of helping its existence, shaktya, potencies, yukta, being engaged, vicharati, he acts, ghoraya, very dangerous, bhagwan, his lordship, bhavaha, Shiva. Translation: Lord Shiva, the most powerful demigod, second only to Lord Vishnu, is self-sufficient. Although he has nothing to aspire for in the material world, for the benefit of those in the material world, he is always busily engaged everywhere and is accompanied by his dangerous energies like goddess Kali and goddess Durga. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, can I request any devotee to read the first paragraph of the purport and the last few paragraphs?
Hare Krishna, Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Shiva is known as the greatest devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is known as the best of all types of Vaishnavas, Vaishnavanam Jatha Sambhu. Consequently, Lord Shiva has a Vaishnava Sampradaya, the disciplic succession known as the Rudra Sampradaya. Just as there is a Brahma Sampradaya coming directly from Lord Brahma, the Rudra Sampradaya comes directly from Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is one of the 12 great personalities as stated in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 3, verse number 20. Swayambhur Narada Sambhu Kumara Kapila Manu Prahlada Janaka Bhishma Boli Boya Shakir Vayam. These are 12 great authorities in preaching God consciousness. The name Shambhu means Lord Shiva. His disciplic succession is also known as the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. And the current Vishnu Swami Sampradaya is also known as the Vallabha Sampradaya. The current Brahma Sampradaya is known as the Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Even though Lord Shiva appeared to preach Mayavada philosophy at the end of his pastimes in the form of Shankaracharya, he preached the Vaishnava philosophy. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudmate. He stressed worshipping Lord Krishna or Govinda 3 times in this verse, and especially warned his followers that they could not possibly achieve deliverance or mukti simply by word jugglery and grammatical puzzles. If one is actually serious to attain mukti, he must worship Lord Krishna. That is Sripad Shankaracharya's last instruction.
And Girvardhari Prabhu, can we please go down to the paragraph which starts from Lord Shiva's duty is very dangerous? No, go down Prabhu, please further, go down. Yes. Chaitanya Bhagavan Prabhu, can you read from here? Lord Shiva's duty is very dangerous.
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Lord Shiva's duty is very dangerous because he has to employ the energy of the goddess Kali or Durga. In another popular picture, the goddess Kali is sometimes seen standing on the prostrate body of Lord Shiva, which indicates that sometimes Lord Shiva has to fall down flat in order to stop the goddess Kali from killing the Asuras. Since Lord Shiva controls the great material energy, the goddess Durga, worshippers of Lord Shiva attain very opulent positions within this material world. Under Lord Shiva's direction, a worshipper of Lord Shiva gets all kinds of material facilities. In contrast, a Vaishnava or worshipper of Lord Vishnu gradually becomes poorer in material possessions because Lord Vishnu does not trick his devotees into becoming materially entangled by possessions. Lord Vishnu gives his devotees intelligence from within, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 10.10. Tesham satatajo tanam vajatam prete purvakam dadami buddhi jogam tam jeno mamupoyanti te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Further to be read, Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhu, the only small 2 paragraphs here.
Yeah. Thus, Lord Vishnu gives intelligence to his devotee so that the devotee can make progress on the path back home, back to Godhead. Since a devotee has nothing to do with any kind of material possession, it does not come under the control of the goddess Kali or the goddess Durga. Lord Shiva is also in charge of the Tamoguna, or the mode of ignorance in this material world. His potency, the goddess Durga, is described as keeping all living entities in the darkness of ignorance. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Nidra Rupam Samastitaha. Both Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are incarnations of Lord Vishnu, but Lord Brahma is in charge of the creation, whereas Lord Shiva is in charge of the destruction, which he carries out with the help of his material energy, goddess Kali or goddess Durga. Thus, in this verse, Lord Shiva is described as being accompanied by dangerous potencies, Satya, Ghoraya. And that is the actual position of Lord Shiva. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Girvardhari Prabhu. So, in this verse, we understand a few things about Lord Shiva. And in the beginning of the verse, Vidurmani tells that Lord Shiva is Atma Rama. Atma Rama is self-satisfied. And Srila Prabhupada in the purport, he explains further who can be Atma Rama. And Prabhupada mentions that the devotee of the Lord, Krishna, can be Atma Rama. Atma Rama means who is satisfied within himself. And in Vishnu Puran, in Vishnu Sahasranam, there is a famous verse which is chanted towards the end of Vishnu Sahasranam. It is said that Ram Ram Rameti Rame Rame Manorme Sahasranam Ta Tulyam Ram Nam Varanane. And this verse is spoken by Lord Shiva to Parvati Devi. And it is given in Mahabharata also, in the Bhishma Parva. When Bhishma Pitama Dev was about to leave his body, he was on the deathbed of arrows. That time, all the great personalities in the world, they came to have his darshan. And that time, Bhishma Pitama Dev's departure Leela was being witnessed by Lord Shiva and Parvati also. And before Bhishma Deva left his body, he chanted Vishnu Sahasranam, which contains 1000 names of Vishnu. And that time, Parvati Devi asked Lord Shiva that, my Lord, Bhishma Pitama Dev had a benediction to leave his body according to his vision, right? And he knew that he is going to leave his body very soon, and so before he left his body, he chanted the 1000 names of Lord Vishnu. But in the Kali-yuga, people will not know when they are going to leave their body. And if they don't remember Lord's name before they leave their body, they will not get the liberation. And she said, chanting Vishnu Sahasranam, which takes 20 minutes, is certainly not possible for the people who are in the Kali-yuga. So Parvati Devi requested Lord Shiva to suggest any smaller Keno Payana Laguna, any simple means by which people of the Kali-yuga, we are in the Kali-yuga, so we people like us can also have the darshan of the Lord after we leave the body and can be engaged in his service. So that time Lord Shiva recited this verse and he said, my dear wife, I do not know what is the small means and what is the big means, right? And he says, Ram Ram Rameti, Rame Rame Manorame, Sahasranam Tatulyam, Ram Nam Varanane. He said, my mind is Rame. Rame means we can understand in Hindi better. जैसे एक छोटा बच्चा होता है उसका मन कहाँ रमता है और उसकी रति कहाँ पर होती है, उसका अटैचमेंट किधर होता है। एक छोटा सा बच्चा है, उसका नेचुरल अट्रैक्शन खेलने के लिए होता है, खिलौनों में होता है वो। तो जहाँ पर भी जाता है वह, वो देखता है उसको खेलने की कोई चीज़ मिल जाए ना, और जैसे ही खेलने की चीज़ मिलती है वो उसमें रम जाता है वह। तो उसके आसपास क्या हो रहा है बच्चे को, उसको मालूम नहीं होता है। तो वही स्थिति शिव जी की भी है। तो शिव जी कहते हैं रमे रामे मनोरमे, कि माई माइंड इज ऑल द टाइम एंगेज्ड, मेरा मन तो रमा रहता है किस चीज़ में, रामे। रामे मीन्स राम के अंदर है। और कहते हैं कि राम राम रामेति, ये जो राम राम राम, इफ यू चैंट 3 times राम राम राम, that is equal to chanting 1000 names of Lord Vishnu. So from this verse we see what is the position of Lord Shiva, which has been mentioned by himself, that his mind is always engaged in chanting Ram 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 Ram. In our case, when we chant the holy name, we chant through the tongue. Right? We are not able to engage our mind in chanting. What Lord Krishna wants in Bhagavad Gita, man mana bhav mad bhaktu. Krishna says, engage your mind unto me. Mayeva mana adasva. Krishna says, fix your mind onto me. Repeatedly, Krishna is giving the instruction to us that we have to engage our mind, we have to fix our mind on Krishna. When we serve Krishna, we have to fix our mind on Him. When we chant, we have to fix our mind on holy sound. But what happens? We are engaging our tongue, but we are not able to engage our mind constantly in chanting the holy name. But Lord Shiva is such a great Vaishnava that not only his tongue, but even his mind is engaged in chanting Lord Rama's name. And we know the nature of the mind. As Arjuna says in Bhagavad Gita, he tells Krishna that if you wish, if you tell me I can control the wind, but I cannot control the mind. But Lord Shiva is such a great Vaishnava that he is able to control his mind and fix it upon Ram Ram Ram. Right? And so it's up to us what we want to do. Many times, we struggle to chant Vishnu Sahasranam because we don't have the time to spend 20 minutes. But if we have the faith in the words of Lord Shiva, then simply we can chant Ram Ram Ram, not only 3 times, we can chant so many times and we can get the benefit of chanting multiple times of Vishnu Sahasranam. So first thing we noted that Lord Shiva's mind is always engaged in chanting the name of Lord Krishna, Lord Rama. This is the first aspect of Lord Shiva being the topmost devotee of Lord Krishna. The second reason why Lord Shiva is known as the topmost devotee of Lord Krishna is that he is always engaged in offering obeisances to Vasudeva. It is given in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 3, verse number 23, 4.3.23. In this verse, Lord Shiva is telling Parvati Devi, or another roop is Sati Devi, right? And he says that I am always engaged in offering obeisances to Vasudeva. Now somebody may wonder, like, how can Lord Shiva is always engaged in offering obeisances to Krishna? Now chanting always can be understood, right? But how come he is always engaged in offering obeisances to Vasudeva? Vasudeva is another name of Krishna. Son of Vasudeva is known as Vasudeva, right? So the reason is that Lord Shiva is constantly engaged. Lord Shiva's mind is constantly engaged in chanting Ram, Ram, Ram. And since he is constantly chanting Ram, 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 even in his mind, so Lord Rama manifests in his mind. And imagine if the Lord Krishna appears before us, what we will do? Immediately we will offer our obeisances unto him. So since Lord Shiva is constantly chanting even in his mind, Ram, 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 Ram. So Lord Rama is constantly giving his darshan. And that's why Lord Shiva is constantly engaged in offering his obeisances to Lord Krishna. Right? And that's why we always see Lord Shiva is in Samadhi position. Right? He is always in trance. In trance of what? He is in trance of remembering Lord Krishna, offering obeisances unto him. Now the third thing in this context is that this verse is spoken by Lord Shiva to Prachetas here in 4.24.44. Lord Shiva tells Prachetas that I beg Lord Krishna to show me the forms which are dear to his devotees. Now imagine a personality like Lord Shiva, whose mind is always engaged in chanting Ram, 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 who is always engaged in offering his obeisances to Lord Krishna. But still he is begging Lord Krishna to show him the forms which are liked by his dear devotees. And this shows that how much eager Lord Shiva is to have the darshan of the various forms of the Lord. And Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, various forms of the Lord means it's a Radha Shyam Sundar form, it's a Lakshmi Narayan form, it is a Sita Ram form. These are the various forms of the Lord. And another interesting thing is that Lord Shiva he begs Lord Krishna that I wish to see the forms which are dear to Krishna's devotees. Because if he is able to see these forms, what will happen? Lord Shiva explains in the same verse. He says that if I am able to see the forms which are dear to your devotees, then that will satisfy the demand of my all the senses then. Which means if we can see the form of the Lord Krishna, Radha Krishna, Sita Ram, Lakshmi Narayan, then the demand of our senses are automatically satisfied. The demand of our eyes is to see the beautiful forms. But if we can have the real audience of Lord Krishna's form, then our eyes do not want to see any other form. If we can have the darshan of the Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, if we can hear the transcendental sound of their holy name, then our ears do not want to hear anything else. If we have the Lord Krishna in front of us, if we are focused on hearing his transcendental sound vibration, right, then we don't feel any thirst, we don't feel any hunger. Right? So just by Krishna's audience, Krishna's darshan, not any imaginary form. Lord Shiva is very much particular. He is saying the form which are liked by your devotees then. Now, who are the devotees of the Lord? Like Hanumanji is a great devotee of the Lord. Narad Muni, again a great devotee of the Lord. Parishit Maharaj, great devotee of the Lord. So we cannot start worshipping the form of Lord Krishna through our own imagination. We have to worship the forms which are liked by the devotees then. Right? And then the fourth aspect which we can see from Lord Shiva's absorption in Krishna or Lord Rama's holy name is that he smears ashes of dead body on his body. Right? And why does he do so? Because when people take the procession of a dead body, that time they chant Ram Nam Satya Hai, Satya Bolo Satya Hai. Right? So Lord Shiva, as we know by now, that Lord Shiva is so much attached to the Lord Rama's name that as soon as he hears Ram Nam, he starts following the procession. And then he sees that the person due to which he was able to hear the holy name of Lord Rama has been burned to the ashes. He feels so much love and compassion that he applies the ashes of the dead body on his own body. Another thing we can see from Ram Raksha Kavach, it's a very beautiful prayers recited by Kaushika Rishi. But originally this prayer was recited by Lord Shiva. And in this, Lord Shiva says, Bharjanam bhav bijanam, arjanam sukha sampadam, tarjanam yam dutanam, ram rameti garjanam. Again here Lord Shiva says, Ram rameti garjanam. Garjana means loudly chanting. If we chant very loudly, Ram, 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 so what will happen? Lord Shiva says, three things will happen. Three things will happen. First, Bharjanam Bhav Bijanam. That we will be free from the clutches of the material world. No more repeated birth and death. Right? Bhava means repetition, बार बार होना. इस संसार में क्या चीज बार बार होती है? जन्म और मृत्यु है. Right? And arjanam sukha sampada. If we chant loudly Ram Ram Ram, then arjanam sukha sampadam. Then arjan means we get all the sukha and sampada. All the sukha means happiness and sampada means the wealth and possessions. And not only this, when we leave our body, tarjanam yamadutanam. When we leave our body, that time we do not have to see the Yamduta. So when we leave our body, only two personalities we can see. Either we can see Yamduta, or if we don't see Yamduta, we see Vishnuduta. So Tarjanam Yamdutanam means कि भगवान राम का नाम जोर जोर से करेंगे, जाप करेंगे हम उसका, तो यमदूत भाग जाएंगे. तो यमदूत भाग जाएंगे तो कौन रहेगा? फिर सिर्फ विष्णुदूत रहेंगे. And if Vishnudutas are there, that means we become liberated. We go to Krishna's loka. Right? So we discussed a few things why Lord Shiva is known as the topmost Vaishnava. Now, another thing about Lord Shiva is that he is known as a personality of several contradictions. And we will talk about the few contradictions. The Lord Shiva means auspicious. Right? And why he is auspicious? Few reasons. The topmost reason is that his mind is always engaged in chanting Ram, Ram, Ram. Right? He is always offering his obeisances to Lord Rama. He is hankering to have the darshans of Lord's various forms. And another thing, he is holding the water which is coming from the lotus feet of Krishna on his head. When Bhagirath Maharaj wanted to bring the Ganges on the earth, Ganges did not want to come. She said, this earth is full of the sinful living entities. They will contaminate me also. So how will I get purified? So Bhagirath Maharaj said, don't worry. You come to the earth, you will get contaminated, but you will get purified when the devotees of the Lord Krishna takes bath in your water. So Ganges said, that's fine, but the Ganges, the volume and the flow was so significant that earth was not able to hold the Ganges. But Ganges was needed here. So that time Lord Shiva volunteered that, my Lord, please allow me to hold the water which is coming from lotus feet on my head. Like, see, we take Charnamrita, and after drinking Charnamrita, we wipe our hands. We take some water on the head also, right? So that's our position, just 1 or 2 drops of water. Right? We can't have even 1 bucket of water, but Lord Shiva is holding unimaginable quantity of Ganges on his head. So that means he is very auspicious also. But on the other hand, he is so much auspicious, right? But on the other hand, he carries so many inauspicious things also. One of the things we mentioned, that he smears his body with the ashes which comes out, ashes of the dead bodies. He wears the ornaments which are made of snakes, or like, see, instead of flowers garland, you will see the garland of snakes. Instead of diamond armlets or the golden armlets, you will see the snakes which are wrapped around his arms there. Right? So that is his ornaments. And he is surrounded by the ghostly spirits. So the dust or the ashes of the dead body is not auspicious. Right? The snakes are not auspicious. Right? The ghost, pishas, they are not auspicious. Right? So he is auspicious, but at the same time, he carries all these inauspicious things. Right? Why? For the welfare of all those inauspicious things. By carrying these inauspicious things, Lord Shiva does not become inauspicious. His position always remains as an auspicious personality. Right? So first contradiction, we saw that he is auspicious but carries so many inauspicious things. The second contradiction is that he is very easily pleased as well as very easily displeased also. Lord Shiva's one of the name is Ashutosh. Ashutosh means, Ashu means quickly, Tosha means satisfied. He is very easily satisfied. And but at the same time, he gets angry also very fast. At one time, he was very much pleased with Ravana. Ravana performed so much austerities that Lord Shiva was very much pleased, and Ravana started gaining the power. And then he thought that now I have become very powerful, so now I should show my power. So in the material world, if we have to show our power, how do we show our power? We show our power by lifting something heavy. So Ravana wanted to show his power, that what power he has gained. So he thought, how can I show my power? So then he said, in the material world, people say that a spiritual master lifts the disciple. Due to the spiritual master, disciple is elevated. But I would lift Kailash Parvat. Why Kailash Parvat? Because if I lift Kailash Parvat, then people would say that what a great disciple who has lifted even his spiritual master. And we know that Lord Shiva meditates upon the Kailash Parvat. So then Parvati Devi realized that, no, before she realized, Ravana lifted Kailash Parvat. And Parvati was very much upset, and Lord Shiva also got very much angry. And just he pressed Kailash Parvat by the tip of his toe. And immediately Kailash Parvat started coming down, and Ravana was not able to hold it, and his arms were about to be crushed. And that time he prayed to Lord Shiva. And although he had funded Lord Shiva greatly, but Lord Shiva did not mind his offense, and immediately he released his arms from the weight of Kailash Parvat. We know the pastime of Daksh Maharaj, where Lord Shiva was there, but he was not offered any proper seed. He was not offered in welcome. Lord Shiva did not mind it. That's one side. But other side, when Bhrigu Muni wanted to find out who is the God, Supreme God in this world and the spiritual world, Bhrigu Muni approached Lord Shiva, and simply he said, what kind of Veshbhusha, what kind of appearance you have got. And Shiva got so much angry that he was after Bhrigu Muni, and he wanted to kill him. Okay? So Lord Shiva is Ashutosh, but at the same time he gets very angry also, because he is controlling the mode of ignorance, and anger is part of the mode of ignorance. Then another contradiction we see in case of Lord Shiva is that he is a creator as well as a destroyer. Krishna is Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is the cause of all causes. Right? Vasudev Sarvamiti. Krishna is the cause of all causes. So Krishna is the cause of the material creation also. Right? But in the beginning, what happens? From Lord Krishna, Balarama appears. From the Balarama, Sankarshana to Mahavishnu, and then Mahavishnu to other expansions. So when the time of Srishti comes, we think that it's Lord Krishna who creates this material world. No, he is the ultimate cause, but he does not create the material world. Creating the material world is like constructing a jail in the city. So, constructing a jail is not a very big task. If the president of a city wants to construct a jail in a very big city, he won't construct it himself. Rather, he would call his close people to take up this task. So, Krishna's job is not to create this material world. It's a very, very simple task. Krishna does not touch the material nature, does not touch the material energy. He simply manifests the 24 material elements. He exhales, वो एक सांस छोड़ते हैं, उसके साथ में जितने जीव हैं प्रलय के समय सोए हुए होते हैं, भगवान के शरीर में समाते हैं, सब जीव दोबारा प्रकट होते हैं, और उसके आगे का काम वो शिव जी देखते हैं. So that's how the Lord Shiva plays the role in the creation. But at the same time, the Lord Shiva plays a role in the destruction of the universe also. At the end of the night of Brahmaji, when Brahmaji's night is about to over, that means he is going to wake up. Now the day is coming. So that time, all the 24 material elements which are required to create the material world are manifested. And when the time of Brahmaji's night comes, when Brahma is about to sleep, that time the universe has to be destroyed. And that time Brahmaji manifests Rudra, or the Shiva, who is holding Damru in one hand and the fire another hand. And he simply starts dancing, doing the Tandav Nritya, and with that the whole creation starts getting annihilated. So Lord Shiva, on one side, he is a creator also, and he is a destroyer also. Another contradictory aspect of Lord Shiva is that he is the greatest yogi, as well as he is a grasta also. Shiva is known as Yogishwara. He is worshipped by the yogis because he himself is a great yogi. Just now we discussed that all the time he is engaged in chanting Lord Rama's name, offering his obeisances unto Lord Rama. Right? So who does it? Who chants Lord Rama's name? Who offers his obeisance to Lord Rama's forms? It's a bhaktas. So he is a supermost bhakti yogi. At the same time, he is in the samadhi also. Sitting on the Kailash Parvat with the closed eyes, holding the beads. And this is what the Dhyan yogis they do. Dhyan yogis they meditate Lord Krishna's form within their heart. And that's what Lord Shiva does. He is the topmost renunciate. As Prabhupada mentioned the purport, that Bhavani or Durga, who is the controller of the material energy, who is the controller of all the material opulences, is his wife. But still, he doesn't have, it's not that he doesn't have, he doesn't want any house. Doesn't have any opulent clothes, doesn't have any opulent jewelry. So that's a sign of the renunciation. His senses are perfectly under control then. Right? So one side he is the topmost yogi, and other side he is the ideal grahastha also. And ideal grahastha in what sense? The first of all, he himself is engaged in chanting the holy name. Second, his consort, who is known as Durga Devi. Durga Devi's another name is Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi means the worshipper of Lord Vishnu. So the way Lord Shiva is chanting Lord Rama's name, his wife is also chanting Lord Rama's name. So both husband and wife are engaged in worshipping Lord Rama. And they got a nice son, Ganeshji. Right? And in Brahma Samhita it is given that he is holding Lord Vishnu's feet on his head. So he is also the devotee of Lord Krishna, Lord Rama. So the whole family is engaged in worshipping Lord Krishna. And that's Prabhupada says that's the ideal Grasta life. It's not like a Kali-yuga. In the family, if there are 10 members, then each of the 10 members may have the different gods to worship. The God is only one. And Lord Shiva is showing by his example, right, that who should we focus our mind, who should we worship. And another aspect of Lord Shiva's, where there is a contradiction, is that he is like Krishna. Many times he appears like Krishna, but he is not Krishna himself. In the Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji says, Shiram yatha dadi vikara vishesh yoga sanjayate tatah prathagasti hetu ya shambhutam api tatha samupeti karyat govindam adi purusham tamham bhajami. It says, Shiram yatha dadi vikara vishesh yogat. This verse describes what is the nature of Lord Shiva. That it is manifested from Krishna, who has been compared like a milk. So Lord Krishna, as I mentioned earlier, that when Lord Krishna when Krishna needs someone to touch the material energy for the purpose of creation, then Lord Krishna himself voluntarily, he assumes the form of Sadashiva. And that Sadashiva form is known as like a dahi, right? It's coming from Krishna, but due to the vikara means contamination. Contamination is what? The touch of the material energy, right? So it's the same Krishna, but due to the touch of material energy, it becomes Sadashiva. Sadashiva means, although he touches the material energy, but still he always remains auspicious. Right? So Lord Shiva is same as Krishna. Many times looks like the same as Krishna, but it is different, right? Like milk and yogurt, both have got milk. So it is same, but the difference is that there is a source of yogurt. Right? The source of yogurt is milk, not vice versa. From the yogurt, milk cannot be made. Similarly, the manifestation of these 24 material elements, it comes from Krishna, right? Not vice versa, not the other way around. And another thing, if you want the liberation, then it is Krishna who gives the liberation. Lord Shiva rarely to someone who has worshipped him without any desire for the whole life, and that person has a desire to serve Krishna, that time Lord Shiva will chant Ram Ram Nam into the ears of that person who has the desire to serve Krishna. And due to that, the person can get the liberation. But otherwise, it's Lord Krishna who is known as Mukunda. Mukunda means the person who gives the liberation, has the power to give the liberation. So we discussed a few things relating to Lord Shiva's personality, which appear to be contradictory, like in his pastimes. Now, one of the quality of Lord Shiva is that he is very compassionate. He is very compassionate by nature. And the foremost example of his compassion is that he drank the poison which came from the churning of the ocean. When the demigods and after the demigods and the asuras or the demons, they churned the ocean. From the ocean, so many things came up. And one of the things came up first was the poison. And nobody wanted to take the poison. And that time, Lord Shiva speaks to Bhavani, Parvati Devi. And he says, just see how the living entities have been placed in danger. And he says, it is my duty to protect them. And Parvati Devi says, my Lord, what are you telling? What kind of living entities you are telling? They have the animosity, they have the animosity. They have the vair bhav. That's what the word has been used in the Sanskrit verse in the Bhagavatam. That they have the animosity against each other. So forget about it. No need to think about those kind of entities who fight with each other. So that time Lord Shiva says very beautifully that even if they have the animosity against each other, I do not want to see it. Because the nature of sadhu is that they risk their life to save the people who are in danger. And from this verse, Lord Shiva is telling us very beautiful thing. When it comes to protect somebody who is in danger, when somebody needs help, right, we should not see the avguna of that person, of those people. If we have the capacity, the power, the means to help somebody, to protect someone, then we should use all those resources to help the person who is in danger. And after that, Lord Shiva tells very beautiful things to Parvati Devi. Lord Shiva says that when one performs welfare activities for others, Hari is pleased. Hari means Lord Krishna is pleased. And when Lord Hari is pleased, I am also very pleased. So let me drink the poison so that all the living entities become happy. So this is the nature of Lord Shiva, that he is very much compassionate. And he says that when we show the same compassion to other living entities, Lord Krishna is very pleased. And when Lord Krishna is pleased, Shiva says, I am very pleased. I am more pleased than Krishna. And then Durga Bhavani Mata said, okay, my Lord, that's your wish, so please go ahead. And Lord Shiva took the whole poison into his palm and he drank it. And then it is said, Tapyante lok tapena sadhavo prayasho janaha paramaradhanam tadhi purushasya akhil atmanah. And it is beautifully said in the Bhagavatam that tapyante lok tapena. The lok tapena means the miseries of this world. Loka means this world. Tapyante means suffer. And sadhavo prayasho jana. Sadhava means sadhu. This verse tells the quality of a saintly person. What is the quality of a saintly person? Tapyante. The saintly person voluntarily accepts the miseries of the whole world, lok tapena. Right? And if someone can do it, right, then it is said in the next line, what is that considered? What is that called? It is said, Param Aradhana. Param Aradhana Purushasya. Purushasya means Krishna. It is considered the topmost worship of Lord Krishna. And Prabhupada mentioned in the purport that when we think of showing the compassion to the living entities, we can show the compassion to the body, means we can try to give the bodily comforts to the living entities. Bodily comforts means we can give the food, clothes, medicine and all. But beyond this, the real compassion is showing the compassion for the soul. And showing the compassion for the soul means engaging the living entities into the devotional service. Another nature of Lord Shiva's compassion is that he gives the shelter to all the rejected living entities. See, poison was rejected by everybody. Who took it? Shiva took it. When the Srishti was created, along with so many other nice things, demigods, human beings and all, who were manifested? The snakes were manifested, scorpions were manifested, ghosts were manifested, the poisonous plants were manifested. Nobody wanted to look after them. Shiva said, okay, let me take care of them. Right? Then he takes care of the things which are in the mode of ignorance. The mode of ignorance means the mode of anger, the mode of sleep. Right? The Lord Shiva takes care of these things which are not considered good. So if you see, Lord Shiva is very karunamai. He has got unlimited compassion for all the living entities. So now the question may arise, now if Lord Shiva is so much compassionate, he is Ashutosh, he is easy to be pleased, then we have the, what you say, like a chintamani in our hand. Right? We just go to Lord Shiva, offer some bel patra, offer some milk, water, and we start with our list of the wishes. We can do that, but that's not the wise thing. In the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 12th canto, the chapter 10, verse number 34, Markandeya Muni Rishi is praying to Lord Shiva. In the background of the episode, Lord Shiva is very much pleased with Markandeya Rishi. And he asks Markandeya Rishi that ask for some boon. So Markandeya Rishi says, no, I don't want any boon. By your mercy, I am already engaged in serving Lord Hari. Now I have your audience. Right? But still, if you want to give me any boon, he says that varam ekam vrane athapi purnat kama bhi varshanat bhagavati achyutam bhaktim tat pareshu tatha tvayena. So this is given in 12.10.34. Varam ekam vrane athapi purnat kama bhi varshanat. Bhagavati Achyutam Bhaktim Tat Pareshu Tatha Tvaya. Markandeya Rishi tells Lord Shiva that I do not have any desire. But Vrane, still I beg for one thing. And he says, I know you can give it to me. Because what is your nature? Your nature is Purnat. Purnat means you are completely full. You are not short of anything. Kama bhi varshanat. Kama bhi varshanat. Kam means desires. Abhi varshanat. It's like Lord Shiva can shower down or shower the fulfillment of our desires. Like suppose somebody is thirsty and he wants a glass of water. And imagine suddenly the rain starts with the pure water. So person won't be able to hold that the rainfall or the water which is coming from the rain into his pots. So Lord Shiva has the potency to give us, or he can shower all the things what we want then. But Markandeya Rishi says that I do not want any of those things. Although you can give me all those blessings, but I need only one thing. What is that? Bhagavati Achyutam Bhaktim. Bhagavati Achyutam Bhaktim. So Varam Ekam Vrane Athapi. That I need only one benediction. Although you are Purna and you can shower all the blessings, you can fulfill all my material desires, but only one benediction I need, Bhagavati Achyutam Bhaktim. That I want the devotion service. I want the opportunity to serve whom? Bhakti Bhagavati Achyutam. I want the opportunity to serve Achyuta, means Lord Krishna. And Tat Pareshu. Tat means Lord Krishna. Pareshu means who have taken the shelter. I want the opportunity to serve you, and Tat Pareshu, I want the opportunity to serve your devotees. And Tatha Tvai, and the opportunity to serve you also. And the last line when Markandeya Rishi says, Tat Pareshu Tatha Tvai, I want the opportunity to serve Lord Krishna's devotees and you. Why? Why he is asking the opportunity to serve Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna's devotees? Because when he serves the devotees will automatically engage Markandeya Rishi more and more into the service of Lord Krishna, bhakti of Lord Krishna, and that's what Markandeya Rishi wants him. So when we are in front of Lord Shiva, this is what we should recite. When we go to the Lord Shiva's temple, right, we should recite this verse, right? And Lord Shiva will be very much pleased, because here we are glorifying Lord Shiva by telling his position, right? But at the same time, we are asking from him something which he has got in abundance, right? And he is pleased to see when somebody wants to engage in the devotional service of Krishna. Prachetas, they decided that they will perform the devotional service unto Lord Krishna. And they started from the house. They have not yet performed any devotional service to Lord Krishna, but still Lord Shiva was so much pleased to know that these boys have decided to perform some bhakti unto Krishna. And immediately he appeared before those boys. Those boys did not worship Lord Shiva, but still they got the darshan of Lord Shiva because they simply decided to perform the devotion service unto Lord Shiva. So when we are in front of Shiva, we should not ask for any material benedictions. Because the Lord Shiva is easily pleased. And since he is easily pleased, we may get something which is not good for us. We go and worship Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is busy in meditation, busy in chanting Ram, Ram, Ram. He is enjoying chanting Lord Ram's name, and we go and disturb him. So what he will do? He will say, okay, he has performed austerities, right? He has come to me. Now it's a disturbance for me, because Mano Rame 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 Manorme. I had to chant Ram Nam Nam. So whatever he wants, let him take it. Lord Shiva will not think whether the thing what he is giving to his devotee is good or bad. Right? But in case of Lord Krishna, who says in Bhagavad Gita, Pitahamasya Jaktu Mata Dhata Pitame, Lord Krishna says, I am the father and mother. So father and mother will not give the things what the son desires. Rather, father and mother will give the things what the son deserves. What is good for the son. So whenever we go to Lord Shiva, don't ask for any material benediction. We do not know what is good for us. Simply recite this verse, and Lord Shiva will be very happy. So anyway, in the conclusion, we see that Lord Shiva is an amazing personality. We can't understand even his rupa, even his form. So it's beyond our capabilities, beyond our intelligence to understand his various pastimes. And but one thing we should remember, that if you want to please Lord Shiva, the easiest way is to surrender to Lord Krishna. And this, I am not telling, this Lord Shiva himself has said in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and this is in 4.24.28. So we will conclude the class with this verse, and we will just read the translation to see what Lord Shiva is telling us. And this is 4.24.28. It says, Yah param brahmasa sakshat trigunat jiva sangitat. And the last line is, Bhagvantam vasudevam prapannaha sa priyo hi me. This last line is very easy to understand. Right? That Bhagvantam means Bhagwan, Vasudev, son of Vasudev, who is Krishna. Prapanna means surrender. Sa means that person. Priyo means dear. He means certainly, no doubt. Me means Lord Shiva. This verse is spoken by Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is telling, if you see the translation, Lord Shiva continued, any person who is surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the controller of everything, material nature as well as the living entity, is actually very dear to me. So if you want to be dear to Lord Shiva, then the best way, we become the devotee of Lord Krishna. That would please not only Lord Shiva, but that would please even Lord Krishna also, because Lord Krishna, all the time, he wants that his devotees should be glorified. So with these words, viram to the katha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Now, at the end, if any devotee has got any quick questions or comments, they are welcome.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
I think there are two verses what you at the end mentioned. Means these are the very one thing which is for us whenever we face questions regarding this popular debate of like Lord Shiva, what is his place. Actually, it is very nice. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing these two verses. I think these things we should, as you said, that whenever we are in front of Shiva or these days like Shivratri, we should pray because he likes more once when we ask to him to get the devotion of Krishna. These two words, thank you for, because I have never heard of these two verses. So it is thankfully very useful for us to understand as well as to convince others. It is so direct. There is no interpretation required. It is straightforward. Thank you so much. And you made so many points, but any other devotees can share. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
So, Prabhuji, on this point, who is supreme? So, whenever we are in front of anybody, we should not fall into the argument who is supreme, right? Because everybody cannot understand this point. Now, once Prabhupada was asked by one Mr. Malhotra that who is the supreme, Lord Shiva or Lord Krishna? So, Prabhupada immediately said, this is a nonsense question. He said, in this material world, we talk who is supreme, Lord Shiva is supreme or Lord Krishna is supreme. But in the spiritual world, both have the competition that who will serve others, who will serve other in a better way. In case of Bhrigu Muni, we say that Lord Shiva got angry when Bhrigu Muni did not honor him or spoke about his Veshbhusha. But in Chaitanya Bhagavata, it is said that Lord Shiva purposefully did it. He could have controlled his anger. He purposefully did it so that Krishna's position is continued, right? And similarly, Lord Krishna, whenever he finds the opportunity, he will always glorify Lord Shiva. In the Ramcharita Manas, there is a beautiful line, so where Lord Krishna says Shiva Drohi, that anybody who is against Shiva is not liked by me. Or if anybody is averse to Lord Shiva's bhakti, Krishna will not like him. What is Shiva's bhakti? How do we become the devotee of Lord Shiva? By chanting Lord Rama's name. Right? That's the point we should understand. But the point of what I wanted to make, that we should not fall into the argument that who is supreme, because everybody cannot understand it. Rather, you can tell the person that Lord Shiva is capable of giving us everything. And recite this verse, Varam ekam vrinayathapi purnat kama bhi varshana bhagavati achyutyam bhakti. Because this verse is coming from Markandeya Rishi. It's coming from the authority. Okay, good, Prabhu. So that verse is 12.10.34. Okay, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Radha Madhavan Prabhu. Dandavat pranam, Prabhu.
Very nice class, Prabhuji. बहुत अच्छा आपने बताया भगवान शिव जी के बारे में. बस मेरा छोटा सा प्रश्न था प्रभुजी, जहाँ भी हम लोग जाते हैं शिव जी के खासकर धामों पर स्थानों पे, वहाँ पे शिवलिंग की विशेष पूजा होती है वहाँ पे, इंस्टेड ऑफ लॉर्ड शिवा's deity. सो इसका सिग्निफिकेंस थोड़ा बताइएगा या फिर कैसे, क्या महत्व है, why I mean it's like this.
प्रभु, honestly speaking, मुझे इसके बारे में मालूम नहीं है वो शिवलिंग की पूजा क्यों होती है, और मैंने कभी इसके बारे में सोचा ही नहीं. और लेकिन हाँ, मैंने ज़रूर पढ़ा है कि दैट्स अनदर फॉर्म ऑफ लॉर्ड शिवा विच इज़ मैनिफेस्टेड फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ मटेरियल क्रिएशन. सो दैट्स ऑल आई नो प्रभु, बट आई एम सॉरी आई कैनॉट टेल यू एनीथिंग ऑन दिस.
ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम. हरे कृष्ण, धन्यवाद.
एनी अदर प्रभु जी एंड माता जी?
कृष्णा, आपका बच्चे आज की क्लास बहुत अच्छी थी. और आपने जो सबसे पहले जो शिव जी की जो क्वालिटीज में बताया था कि हिज माइंड इज ऑलवेज एंगेज्ड इन लॉर्ड्स होली नेम, और आपने ये बताया था कि हम भी चैंटिंग करते हैं, वी आर यूजिंग आवर टंग फॉर चैंटिंग, बट आवर माइंड is not, we can't fix our mind in, the holy name, but we should try to engage our mind also as Lord Shiva is doing. So आज शिवरात्रि के अवसर पर हम लोग लॉर्ड शिव जी से प्रार्थना कर सकते हैं कि हम कोशिश करके अपने माइंड को हम श्री कृष्ण के नाम और गुण लीला में लगा सकें. थैंक यू प्रभु. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण. प्रणाम प्रभु जी. वंडरफुल क्लास. इसमें हम लोग ये सीख रहे हैं कि लॉर्ड शिवा इतना मर्सीफुल और इतना दयालु है कि वो जब हर जो भी इनऑस्पिशियस चीजें सब कुछ भगवान ने एक्सेप्ट किया. जैसे विषय लेके हर चीज जैसा बोल रहे हैं, जैसा यक्षास राक्षसास और फिर जैसा क्रीमेटेरियम में हो या जो भी ऐसा इनऑस्पिशियस दिखा सब कुछ लॉर्ड शिवा ने एक्सेप्ट किया और उन्होंने उसको क्या बोले मीन्स he was controlling everything and Lord of we can say like he's a magnanimous means एकदम powerful merciful Lord है that he was accepting जो भी नकारा गया चीज था सारा सब कुछ लॉर्ड शिवा ने एक्सेप्ट किया.
And the Guru is also considered a manifestation of Lord Shiva. So Guru also accept the rejected things. Maharaj also used to say that I am the Guru of the rejected people.
Yes,
people here, right?
So merciful, so merciful.
So this reminds me what Maharaj used to say.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Sajjan Priya Prabhu, accept my humble obeisances, all praise to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my thanks. A wonderful class, Prabhu. Especially you told this point is very excellent. That Lord Shiva, a lot of inauspiciousness comes to him, but he purifies it. It is not affected, and in fact he protects them. And that's why it is called Shuttam. He purifies. Just like Krishna's another quality is Shuttam. Anything goes to Krishna, he purifies. Lord Shiva has got the quality of the Lord because he is the topmost Vaishnava, and therefore he has got all the qualities of Krishna. So thank you very much, Prabhu, to understand that Lord Shiva, and that's why he's called the reservoir of all auspiciousness. And Shiva means auspicious. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
But unfortunately, Prabhu, all the times whenever we think of the auspiciousness, we think in the material terms that whatever material activities we are doing, Lord Shiva will bring the auspiciousness to those activities. And he brings it. But he is auspicious because his mind is always chanting the Ram, Ram, Ram. And generally people, they miss this point. But you made a good point, Prabhu, this about Shuddha, that he is pure, he is very pure. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.